Alright, I mean, it's taking kind of long, and I believe our mic is good. But how's it going, everybody? I am the Zabin, the Zabin here on Broadcast Zabin. We're putting away our varmint rifle. And today we're, of course, playing some Red Dead Redemption 2 online, and there seems to be a lot of people in this server that are wanted for crime. Well, I have a camp, at least. I don't know. I mean, it says I got something here at the post office, but, I mean, the game didn't, like, say anything. And we do have these special event series, but I still think that those are for the, those special series are for the new mode. Actually, I just realized we go to the catalog. Excuse me, sorry. I realized we could just go to the catalog instead of having to do all that. I think right now, do not miss the chance to own this rare limited time or limited edition version of our best-selling double barrel coach shotgun. I still don't understand what makes this better compared to the other one. Maybe price, but I don't know. Eating a little bit right now because I'm hungry. Had nothing to eat, and well, let me just explain. So earlier today, this was a waste of money. Just saying. I wasn't feeling so great. Wait, Litchfield? Lancaster's the one I use. And Litchfield's supposed to be better. Nah. Anyway, like I was trying to say, I was, like, I woke up, did my stuff. I was feeling at least decent. Yeah, it's just the price range. It doesn't seem like it's that much better. I mean, everything seemed fine today, and then, like, out of nowhere, I just had a headache, and I don't know if it was because I was eating, or, you know, I was eating, what we did, or my mom was just like, oh, look, I'm gonna buy some pizza, or whatever. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take a bit, why not? So, you know, that's a thing, right? We go ahead, we buy a whole pizza, or, oh, I just realized that's for a gun, I don't even know. I'm eating it. We're watching Pet Cemetery, the old one. See, well, I mean, obviously, the old one, because the new one's not out just yet. How do I own high velocity when... Hold on. Oh, you know what? I realized I could have high velocity or something like that, because Rockstar does give away items sometimes for free. But, oh, excuse me. Oh my god. Lawson, can you get me up here? Thank you. But yeah, I was feeling just kind of sick. I mean, I had like a headache. I was really hot. I was just uncomfortable, and I was just like, I don't feel good. Took some medicine for that. I already, put that back. And I was just like, well, the movie finished. Let me say that. So we were watching the movie Pet Cemetery, and then I was just like, man, I was just like, I mean, I just already know that once the we'll put it into the repeater. Once the movie, the remake, comes out, it's gonna be so much better, because I mean, like, at this point, it can't really be spoilers, I feel like. I mean, it's old. If you want to go ahead and check it out yourself, you can go ahead. But The old movie, I guess, tries to be very similar to the book. Um, Introduces you to like the characters, the family. Ooh, excuse me. It introduces you to the environment and all that, and that makes sense. That's kind of the whole point. You want to get introduced to anything and everything, right? So you understand what's going on. Now, thing is, um, in the old one, which I'm sure when the new one comes out in like about a week or so, um, it's gonna get maybe like more in depth into how um, it should be. You know what I mean? Because to be honest, I don't even know how many of these I can really make. It says 200, but it's still saying repeater. The thing is, okay, well, let me just get off subject from the movie really quick. I think these, it's at least at 87. I'll say that. But I think it takes time. Like right now, you just saw that one popped up, even though I was trying to do it for this one. So I think all those need time. But oh, excuse me. Yeah, see, still got another one. Where was I going? Oh yeah, to the tailor. Because I want to see if there's clothes. And I could look at the catalog, but I don't want to do that. Let's change our outfit. Am I right? Wait, hold on. I saved 2 outfits, and numbers 2 and 3. Weird. I don't know. Anyway, I was saying, back to the movie. The old one is boring, right? Like, I feel like it took too long to set up all the dangers and whatnot. Obviously, the father character is insane, right? Because he's confronted with this, like, knowledge that if he buries something... Now, it's called Pet Cemetery, but the cemetery itself isn't even really that. The whole idea that is behind that cemetery is this, like, barrier made of like a bunch of dead branches or something, and apparently that's like a magical barrier protecting from the other side. And the idea was that Native Americans would bury their people there, but once they realized that the people were coming back to life, that they stopped burying them there. And I think the whole really, I mean, they're in the movie they're saying it's the soil, but I think just by looking at like the overhead shot that they have, it's really the symbol that's on that burial ground. So it's kind of like when you watch those movies about people being haunted or possessed by ghosts or demons. There's usually something like, oh, you got to use a symbol or something like that. So that's why whenever you see like a crucifix, it's always got to be upside down, or it's got to be on the floor or something, and or you got to draw some like star inside of a circle. There's always some type of symbol basically, and it has its different purposes. Like I remember there was a movie that apparently you draw a symbol to cast out the demons, and then there's another one to invite them. So it's kind of confusing. Oop, that hurt. But yeah, like that's just my little theory as to why it's like that. I really didn't understand too much about this barrier. They really didn't, like, the movie itself. Like, I'm sure maybe if you read the book, you would understand it better. But like the movie, at least, it really didn't explain much about the barrier. Like, it could the way that I saw it was it should have been like if they were dead and they came back to life, um, they couldn't, let's say, go back to the house or something because of the barrier, right? And so constantly in the movie you have this like ghost guy who's supposed to be, well, first of all, he was alive, he was a regular human, and then you could say like God or whatever uh, spiritual thing, spiritual being, or whatever it's called, um, goes against or not goes against, but rather tries to help the main characters. So the main character, the dad guy, whoops, I don't know why you're getting stuck here. Um, the dad character actually talks with this ghost, and the ghost tells him from the straight beginning to not bury anything on the other side of this pet cemetery. And then, like, immediately after, the cat dies, and then they're just like, oh, well, let's bury the cat on the other side of the cemetery. And it's like, huh? Right? And then you already had this ghost character, right? And it's a legit thing, because when he wakes up in the morning, he sees that his feet are covered in dirt, and he's got dirt on the blankets. So, me, I would have been like, okay, no, let's just bury it here. But that, oh god, I didn't think we were gonna cross any NPC, CPUs, whatever the heck that they're called. It's okay, it's okay. Oh boy. I don't have, every time my horse goes down, I can't bring him up. Oh, this guy's a jerk. I'm gonna do a quick parlay because honestly, this is just a server full of people. Wait. No. Should I? I'm gonna do it. No, I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna just double check. I mean, because at this point, I could easily just go ahead and run past the people. But anyway, so the whole Pet Cemetery movie, the neighbor, like I was saying, so the dad character has this ghost that talks to him or whatever, and warns him not to bury the cat or do anything on the other side. Now, this is the one thing I don't like. Stephen King, other than always having his movies take place in Maine or whatever, is that he always seems to have a character or characters connect somehow with like psychic powers, right? Like there's always an evil, but then there's always somebody who's good with a psychic ability that could help. And in this movie, it's the daughter. The daughter has a psychic ability where, I guess when she sleeps, she dreams about what's gonna happen in the future. She has like that foresight, some type of vision, and she's telling the family like, oh, you know, I saw dad doing this, I saw mom doing this, I saw, and then like literally she says it and then it happens, and it's just like nobody, you know, listens or anything. I mean, can you blame her? If nobody's gonna listen to her, then why is she gonna say much? I don't know why this guy is on my horse, but whatever. I don't know, the movie's just, it's weird, and again, like, I can tell if at some point, whenever they come out with a new movie, it's just gonna be so much better. Like, you can tell, just from the trailers alone, you can tell that the drama is very different. The threat, or whatever it is, that's in the movie is very different. Because in the trailer, oh, excuse me, you see that the dad tells, like, the mom, like, hey, why don't you, you know, say hi to your daughter, right? That's kind of the whole idea slash premise of um, that particular scene. It's just like, oh, what happened? And there's a lot more to it because in the new one we see that there's some type of like cult of kids that are doing something with the cemetery, you know? Um,
Either. What's the problem here?
what does this guy want? Second of all, this guy has only a temporary. How do you own that? What's your name? Supreme? I just want to see what level this guy is, because he's 24. Come on, homie.
You sure you're normal? Hello. Good to have you.
How you doing, partner?
You should probably take a look at the latest styles we just got in
So,
stock.
whatever. The dad ignores the ghost that's warning him. Hey, hey, don't, bury the dead on the other side of that little barrier, right? He does it anyway because the neighbor knows when you bury something in that area, um, ends up happening is that it comes back to life. Actually, we probably should have done this in like the story mode or something, but that it comes back to life. So he doesn't really tell the character, like he's just like, let's go bury it over there, and he's confused, like he doesn't respond. He's just like, why are we going out this far, this that, yada yada, and he's just like, and it's not until the cat comes back that he's just like, oh well, I didn't want her to grow up with, without her pet. But then it's like later when the cat's like hostile and stuff like that, then the guy finally like confesses. He's like, yeah, the that's kind of a nice color. Um, but yeah, anyway, like it's not until later on when he finally confesses, like, and the cat's all wild and things like that. He goes, well, I know about it because I buried my dog there, and the dog ended up coming back, and then of course the dog attacked or was going to attack the mom or something, and I don't know if really I own this already. I don't even remember that. I don't remember if that's what happened, but I think he had to put it down or something like that, and then he buried the dog in the actual pet cemetery where, well, the dog never came back. It just stayed dead there. So basically the idea is if you kill something and you bury it, or it doesn't even need, you don't even have to kill it as long as it just it dies. Dang, 175. As long as you bury it in that one spot, you're guaranteed that the animal will come back. So to me, it was just like very weird to be like, oh, there's a pet cemetery, but then it's just like, well, you're not really using it, right? It's just like it's called pet cemetery, but it really has nothing to do with it. If anything, it's like the one spot nobody goes to. I don't imagine like I don't know. Um, let's take it in terms of video games. This would be a good one. I don't think I gotta close out. In terms of video games, imagine it's based on location. So like the game right now, it's called Blackwater. Like we're in Blackwater, but we have, but the game. Let's say the game's called this Sand and Knee. Not even no, not even that. The game is called Roads, but it has nothing to do with it. It's imagine it's just, oh, we start in Blackwater, we pass by roads, nothing special happens in road. Saint Denis is where all the drama happens, and it
You'll
takes
find
us again.
everything
We
you
just
need
pass
to
the
look your
roads, nothing
best
happens.
right
Then we
here
go
in
back
this
to
catalog.
Blackwater, and then all the stuff from Saint Denis comes back to Blackwater. That's essentially what that movie feels like.
All right, let's find out what went on here.
Okay,
I have a feeling you'll be back.
but that's basically like what the movie is. It's just,
Hey there, friend. How can I
oh, I
help you?
can't sell anything. Oh, but I can buy. Um, oh no, I'm good for him. Um,
I'm sure you'll
Shut
be
this
back.
down. We ain't gonna find him.
somebody's wanted. My camp's up here, so I might.
Come back when you're in the market for real quality.
I don't know why people are being weird, but actually, to be honest, I'm gonna switch this back into the story mode very quickly. Um, because we're 81.6% of the way, like, there, so we might as well. But like, I can't now. If I could do like a proper review of like recording or taking bits, I mean, obviously, what I can do is kind of like what most other people, some people, not almost everybody, but some people do, which is um, take like the photos of the movie and then just use that. Because honestly, it's not that great. And obviously, most of Stephen King's films aren't that great, or at least they were like TV films essentially. But when there were movies, right? When it didn't have to be cut into two different parts. Um, then they were pretty rare, even if they were TV adaptations. All right, here we are, back with John Marston, and I hate doing this, but I have to make sure that I'm doing all my research on animals, or at least studying them and hunting them. Now, excuse me, if all I had to do was just hunt them down,
You're a good girl now.
that'd be easy. But I can't. I have to do a lot more than just hunt them down. Um, let's keep heading west as far as west we can go. I think that's the farthest. And boom. But yeah, I just can't wait for the new movie. That's really all I can say. You already know, because I mean, it's kind of the same situation with it, the Pennywise the Clown. Uh, the TV movie adaptation was a two-part series. I think even if you buy the DVD, it's two parts. But then, like, if you do a Blu-ray, both will probably be on one disc. But like, that wasn't too bad. But obviously, it wasn't as too scary. It was just like, oh well, we got this goofy-looking clown coming at us that just so happens to have sharp teeth, right? Of course, acting not that great. Maybe great for the time, but not. It doesn't stand up in today's standards of film. Didn't I have a water bottle? I did, right here. Um, but I don't know. Pet Cemetery for the first one, it's not that great. But I could just again, kind of from the trailers alone, for the remake, it looks a lot more promising. I already love the idea. I mean, if they change it up a bit, where it's just like it's one child instead of two, because in the movie, the original, you have the daughter who has the power to know what's gonna happen, change, the future sight or whatever. Nobody listens to her, and if anything, she seems like such a useless kind of character because honestly, there's no point in listening to her. Like nobody listens to her, and she's not the one that's like in any kind of danger or anything. It's just like, oh well, we have a daughter that just so happens to have superpowers. It's just like it's very random, you know. So you have the daughter again. The power of the node is no purpose. Nobody listens to her. Um, she doesn't do anything. She just and complains, and that's it. I mean, you could ask like, oh well, what's the child supposed to do? Obviously, they could do a lot more than just complain.
Settle.
These animals are way too. Watch those be ravens. Yep. Ravens are everywhere, no matter where I go. I've been following these birds since the Far East, and here I am in the Far West. Excuse me. But, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Who died here? Frickin' Dawes. I mean, but also, like, obviously, that was kind of a given, acting back then compared to the acting now. It's Brother Rodelio? Wait, this is a missionary? Found a poor man from a long time ago. Chilled me for some reason. I mean, is that really his drawing? 'Cause they pretty whack. John Marston, you need to take some lessons from Arthur. Oh well. Missionary. He had a letter on him. This one, a letter from 1797 from a cardinal to a missionary. What? How is this guy's body still like? That seems like a lot. Well, I mean, we found something interesting, I guess. Let's see what else. The one, I mean, I guess it was a good twist. Or I don't know, I guess for the time. Pet Cemetery's good twist was to have the son die, right? Because in the original, it's a very young boy, a son who barely, like, knows how to walk and talk. Excuse me. It's like, what? 1, 2 years old? Somewhere around there. 3 at most. Okay, so this is clearly a boundary, so we can't cross this. But, let's go back. So with the dad knowing, like, okay, my child died, but if and then the idea of thinking, oh, if I bury my child here, they'll come out, they'll come back to life and everything will be fine. It's like they never died. But, I mean, really no rule or anything, but you bury them and they always come back evil. I think that's was established. Even the old man at some point even says it himself, where the dad actually asks him, like, oh, has someone ever buried a person there? He says no, but But then later on, he confronts him and he's like, okay, I lied to you. Someone did bury someone there. But when they came back, they were evil, just like the animals. And that's why the Native Americans don't bury anybody there, because it's like evil grounds, essentially. I mean, which is true. It's evil grounds. So, he's telling him, like, no, don't do it. They're just gonna come back evil. They're just gonna want to come back to kill, maybe be cannibals or something. But they're just gonna come back just to kill. And that's literally what happens. This guy still goes ahead with the knowledge that, oh, if I bring somebody back, they're gonna kill. He still goes ahead and he buries his son in the new area. And what happens? The son comes back to life. For some reason, he goes after the neighbor. Not really, not sure why. In terms of like how the movie ends, it makes sense why, but there's like no actual genuine reason. So, I mean, unless it's supposed to be where they have to kill something else before they can kill the thing that buries them. However it works, because we've seen that the cat kills a rat before like attack. Well, it scratches his face, but I mean, it kills a rat, right? It never goes after the guy viciously, which it should have tried to do. What is that? Hold on. Why is there a skunk? Well, it's smaller, so that means we need to be able to... There we go. Now we're just gonna shoot it regular, which I like doing, because you don't need it to be in perfect condition now. There, perfect. Anyway, lost focus again, sorry. Actually, no, let's do this, let's do this in, like, Minecraft or